You were the only one to like it. You were the only one to retweet it.
Did you start with my name?
What do you mean? On the tweet?
Yeah.
No, the one you retweeted. The Dynasty Diehards show one.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's weird.
Yeah. But then I quote tweet the guy who's trashing Scott Fish. And I get like 50 likes and everybody drops their Scott Fishbowl roster.
Look, I think just everybody's, and I am too. I don't even know what. I saw one look at your show sheet, Nate, and I didn't dig into it. I didn't do my homework. Everything's just so Scott Fish brained right now, and the whole fantasy.
Well, this is a dead period. We're like between OTAs and camp.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So
they're waiting for any news. There's just not there's no weekly updates to give y'all. Anybody?
Well, we have a few things to talk about.
I lied.
We have some very interesting things to talk about. Every time.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Every time. So this is something that's kind of cool. I just joined my first auction league. What's up, Brad? Thanks for tuning in, homie. We appreciate it.
Hey, Bolt.
So yeah, I just joined my very first ever auction draft league.
How far into it are you?
Haven't started the draft yet.
Okay.
I was just asked to take over. Excuse me. It's dry out here right now. Just bone dry after all that rain. Our buddy Mike Stoyanov asked me to hop in the league with him. So got to decide who I'm going to keep. But I think my keepers are going to be Kenny Pickett, Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp.
So is it an orphan?
Yeah, it's an orphan.
Okay. How long's the league been running? I want to know all this.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I have to DM him back. We've been kind of DMing, but I just saw I had one from him. Mike, if you're watching, my email address is natepolvogt@gmail.com, just so you know. Or viewers, if you have questions, we actually have a mailbag. It is Diehards mailbag.
No, you just doxed yourself. You doxed yourself.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. You're in trouble.
That email address is on my Fantasy Pros profile.
Look, y'all, I'm not trying to do a lot of work. So if you want to send it to his personal email, it's a lot easier to remember.
That's more of a business email for me. I'm not going to give out my personal email that you have.
Your personal email is not Nate Polvogt at Gmail?
No. I started that one up like a year ago because I started getting so many like business emails and I wasn't used to that.
How many Nate Polvogts are there?
None.
Is there another one?
No, I'm the only one.
Look at you. That's awesome, man. The only one in the world?
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the world.
I'm so honored to be here.
I don't know, man. The Polvogt family's weird. I've done some genealogy research because I'm a history nerd. And I know this has nothing to do with football, but I traced my family back to Prussia, just on the border of Prussia and France.
Cool. When?
Like 1700s.
Oh, wow.
1600s, late 1600s. I could go back farther. I just talk about football all day, so I can't,
Okay.
Well, this went off the rails really early. I love it. Nobody's tuned out. In fact, we've got a new viewer. Chris Joel Smith says, "Woo, thank you, sir. We're excited to be here. We promise we are going to talk football, and the first thing we are going to talk about."
Wait, I love the belt. You put a screen. You put his profile up in the chat view.
Oh, I love that belt too.
He's got a belt over his shoulder, and he's got 2 bottles of whiskey.
That's
Welcome,
amazing.
Chris Joel Smith.
Yeah, you're our kind of guy, dude. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. All right, so let's get to our first little thing here. We've got the Jets on Hard Knocks. And I know you said before the show when we were talking about this, you hate reality TV.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, you put it on the show sheet, and I put it as the thing that I want to talk about the least. I just can't do reality TV at all. I don't allow it in my house for the mental health and education of my family. And they're all cats and dogs. But still, I tried to watch. I got excited to watch it with my brother while he was still living here for a little bit in New Orleans last year, and I put on just an episode because I really wanted to get into it. Dude, it's still reality TV. That's not fun.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ruin the segment. It's just
it's okay. I get it. Like, we're not going to learn anything.
There's nothing there.
Player
it's completely
battles.
Produced.
It's going to be Zach Wilson chasing everybody's moms. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers talking like a hippie. No, dude, you should watch. Have you seen Below Deck?
No, you know this.
Just try one episode. No, it's hilarious.
If I'm not going to like one episode of Hard Knocks, there's no way I'm going to like. Actually, my best friend loves Below Deck. I'll give it one shot.
Give it a shot.
But you owe me an hour of something if I do that, right? Like you owe me an hour of showing me how to navigate Fantasy Pros website and find all the things that I want to find. Something like that.
Okay, deal.
All right, deal.
All
right,
I'm going to do that anyway. We're going to do that anyway. The only thing I think is
I'm going to watch reality TV for an hour and get dumber, and then I'm going to talk to you for an hour and get smarter.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Deal.
So here's my only thing. The only thing I'm interested to see is Aaron Rodgers' relationships with some of these players.
Ooh, that's
curious
fun.
To see
because it's always been about that, right?
Yeah, I want to see him around Garrett Wilson. I want to see how Alan Lazard kind of fits into the team dynamic. And from that standpoint, I'm interested, but like, we're not going to learn anything about this team other than do they get along?
No.
Like, it's not going to be like, did you see Israel Bonaconda on Hard Knocks? This kid is a winner. Like, that's not the kind of show it is. No, right. It's not. It's on HBO.
It's just, it's also edited. So I was a fireman for 11 years in New Orleans, and they actually did 2 reality TV shows in firehouses in New Orleans while I was there. Both happened to be at the 2 different houses that I was at. One was one never got aired, and it just became a pilot, and the other one was what's the emergency medical show on Night Watch? It was Night Watch. Night Watch was in my firehouse for like 6 months. It's not reality, man. It's not reality TV.
Dude.
Like, it's just so heavily directed and heavily edited and heavily.
Do you think First World was that heavily edited and directed? Because I always felt like that was real. And I still to this day, the first Real World.
Oh, probably the first. Well,
San Francisco or whatever it was.
Well, that was kind of the leading edge of reality TV, wasn't it? That was back in like MTV in the 90s.
Sure.
So of course the real one, and everybody else is like, oh, well, we can do that. And then they go and do that. But by doing that, you're not doing that. You know what I mean?
So wait, are you telling me that Big Brother isn't real?
I actually can't say that. I have an NDA. I'm getting off of here. I'm sorry.
All right. So we're going to move on to our next piece of news that actually does sound like it could be reality TV as well. The whole Alvin Kamara incident over the Pro Bowl weekend last year. If you remember, he basically beat the living shit out of a guy in a hotel. He pleads no contest to something public, but it amounts to a low-level misdemeanor. He'll do no time. I think it's like a $3,000 fine and like 50 hours of community service. It's all he's on the hook for, pleading no contest. But the NFL can still fine him.
For sure. And they can still suspend him.
Oh, still suspend him. That's what I meant to say. So you're in New Orleans. What's the general feeling in New Orleans right now about this?
We found out today, and so I haven't been to a bar to find out. Like, I haven't talked to anybody about it. You know what I mean? I haven't called my friends and been like, hey,
what's your
kind of what we were expecting happened, and he's probably still going to get, because there's video evidence that did the video evidence come out? I think the audio did.
And photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll clarify one thing you said. You said he beat the ever living blah blah blah. It was him and a group of friends, which makes it worse.
Okay. That almost does make it worse.
It does make it worse, but there's also diffusion of responsibility, and there's it's a messy, ugly thing. It sucks.
It does suck.
It is,
he has to get suspended, right? Like he has.
I think so. Just because everything got leaked, like the NFL would still look like a bunch of jerks if they were just like, you know what, he got out of it, so he got out of it with us.
So then it's got to be 6 games. Because you can't suspend him for less time than a dude who was gambling on another sport, but in a team facility like Jameson Williams.
You can, because where one thing is like, he got out of line in a personal way. Another thing is about the integrity of the NFL altogether. And I can understand a business wanting to draw the hardest line possible at something that threatens the legality of their business way more than they would go after even the most immoral thing. If it's it's a billionaire company. Like that's what they're very clear on what they want, and they want their business to thrive. And the worst, I mean, we're going to talk about, what's that dude's name? Voldemort up in Cleveland, that quarterback.
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
That guy, yeah.
The trash can.
The trash can, yeah, right. They will not put up with gambling because gambling can put them at risk.
And that's a fair point. That's a very fair point.
It can put their bottom line at risk, period. Whereas whereas Voldemort, they just kind of let it go a little bit. So I don't know what's going to happen with Kamara. I think 3 to 4 game suspension is probably what we're looking at. I follow at Drew Davenport.
Same.
Is that his name? Is there an FF in there?
Drew Auctioneer.
I'm going to look it up. And we didn't talk about this before the show, but I'd almost like to read his thread to you. Is that okay on YouTube, or will we get demonetized or kicked off, or
it could affect. So
Drew's going to sue us, isn't he?
Probably. He's a lawyer.
Yeah, but his tweet thread is public.
Drew Davenport FF.
Davenport FF. That dude is brilliant. Anytime anybody watching has a question about what could happen legally in a player's life and find out how that relates to their NFL season, go follow Drew Davenport FF.
Yep, absolutely. No, he's a phenomenal resource for this. Somebody was giving him crap the other day because he has a Patreon. Like, of course he does. This guy is a lawyer, and he's one of the best auction format people out there. It shows the FF Auctioneer. Yeah, dude, you monetize that. We're all trying to make a living out here, folks. You can't get mad at us when we're trying to make money to put food on our tables, right? All right, so you know what? Enough with Alvin Kamara. Let's get to some of these free agents. And this is so weird to me that we've still got some of these names out there. But at the same time, I guess it's not as weird, just simply because, I don't know, these guys have the luxury of, like, they're veterans. They don't need to be in OTAs. They just need to be ready for camp. And these guys all have the facilities to work out on their own. Where Ezekiel Elliot, he's still in shape. Dalvin Cook's in great shape.
So just talking about how comfortable running backs are in the NFL and how important that is. Jamal Williams versus Swift last year. If I wanted to choose violence, I would say David Montgomery versus Gibbs this year.
Sure.
My biggest worry about Gibbs coming to the league was the fact that he was not an aggressive pass blocker. And I think the Lions even said that, which may have been just them throwing the scent off. They said that pre-draft as they were like, I think Dan Campbell, Man Campbell was like, we need somebody who wants to go block, who likes blocking, who likes hitting people to protect his quarterback. And we're looking for that. And he said that pre-draft, and I was like, damn, I don't think Gibbs is going there, because that's his one weakness, right? Is that he didn't put
he's not a pass blocker.
Effort. Well, he didn't put forth the effort in pass blocking, which is worse than being a bad pass blocker. Is being a
that's a fair point.
So that did have me a little worried, but I don't know. We're on the peak off-season talk, baby. Let's talk about Zeke Elliott, who doesn't have a team. Dalvin Cook, who doesn't have a team. Leonard Fournette, who doesn't have a team. Keep going, Nate.
Yep. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's still out there.
Beautiful. Keep going.
And these are viable running backs.
I never thought about this, but how gross would Kareem Hunt be behind Eckler? What would that do to each of them? What would that do to just Eckler?
That would probably be really good for Eckler.
In the form of him falling to the second round, or
that would be
of
nice.
One QB. A one QB redraft. I'm sorry.
That would be, well, yeah, I know what you meant. That would be nice.
Okay.
That'd be real nice. I think the best running back right now is probably Dalvin Cook, because you have to say it's Dalvin Cook, right?
Sure.
I could see Dalvin Cook ending up in Buffalo still. I don't care that they signed Damian Harris. You don't pass on a guy like Dalvin Cook if you can get him and you've got the money. I don't know where else I see him going, though. There hasn't been a lot out
Denver.
there.
Look,
I could see it, dude. I guess it's new ownership. I could see if they've got the money to do it.
It's also just a Samaje time splitter, because if Toronto doesn't, I don't believe the new. So there we did ignore some camp talk. I'm glad about that. Javante's coming back week 1.
I know. I heard
Requote everything you heard. Everything you heard from Dobbins last year. Requote it. So yeah, I can see them. I can see Denver landing a running back, especially like Dalvin Cook, who will be very, very good through 6 games, and then keep going maybe, but they'll have another option in Javonte afterwards, you know?
Yeah. I agree. This is a team that the Broncos want to win, and they've shown that. Like, dude, they made a huge splash in free agency off of the bat, signing the 2 best offensive linemen on the market. It sucked to see Dalton Reisner, who's a hometown guy, go, but their offensive line got infinitely better.
With Adam Troutman and who else?
No, Mike, shut up. And they signed, like, what I've been hearing a lot about Denver here is that Sean Payton is going to tailor an offense to Russell Wilson, whereas Nathaniel Hackett tried to force Russ into his system, and it didn't work. And once they backed off of that last season, Russ played a lot better. He had a depleted offensive line. He lost Tim Patrick before the season even started, lost Javonte Williams. This is a team that was destined to fail. And yeah, Hackett sucked. His clock management sucked. Everything about him as a coach sucked. We've got Sean Payton now.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson could be a top 5 quarterback this season.
I don't think any of Sean Payton's quarterbacks have had less than 17 points a game average ever, and he has had some horrendous quarterbacks under him. Hold on one second. Let me get these dogs out of here because they're fighting. Here, y'all. Get out of here. Go on. Go on. Oh, I didn't mute it. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Sean Payton's quarterback is going to do well. Russell Wilson is a very exciting. Are we going to go over? Am I on mute?
No. I'm just laughing at you with the dogs.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I got a little twisted before the show. It's been a long week. So let me sidetrack. I'm traveling to Boston. First thing Friday morning for the live Scott Fishbowl draft. And a lot of what I want to talk about today is Scott Fishbowl's strategy, because I've finally taken a little time off work to dive into what I want to do. And I can't do it on the show because I'm just going to be giving away my strategy.
Well, who's in your draft?
I don't know. And I should be following that. I should be having notifications on them, huh?
Yes.
The other 11 people in the draft.
Do you have your sleeper? I'm curious now, so now I'm going to look it up because I want to know who's in your.
Can you take over for a second? My computer is looking to die, and I need to
go get a cord.
Charger.
Go get a cord. It's all right, man. I'll cut this out of the audio version anyway. So, what I'm curious about with Scott Fishbowl, I've seen so many crazy things happen in some of these drafts. It's almost like people are just going in and, you know what, saying, F it. I'm going to have fun with this tournament. If you've seen the odds, they're not great. This isn't a tournament that you go in with expectations of winning. If you get there, cool. A lot of things have to go your way, especially in this format, because the scoring is so crazy. Dude, at least you caught it. My second live stream ever, I was on with Chase Vernon doing with Fantasy Intervention back in the day, doing a waiver wire show.
I love that dude.
Me too. And my battery died in the middle of the show. My second live stream ever. It was very embarrassing.
You know what? I did a show with him last week. It was a Scott Fishbowl mock draft.
You're in Gemmo's division.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love it. This is a good division, dude. There's a lot of very smart people in this division.
That means it's a horrible division.
No, it's great because you don't.
Why?
Okay. So I did the
Denver
live
compared
draft.
to a bunch of fucking juggernauts. That's terrible.
Just listen. No, it doesn't matter. So our live draft is on Sunday, which we're gonna talk about that here in a second. You know what? Let's just go ahead. I see where this is headed, right? Like, very obviously.
Are we about to talk about your live draft that happened on Sunday?
Yes, I'm just gonna.
Yes.
Just
hell yeah.
Yeah. So Nate Scott Fishbowl draft so far. It was really interesting. So the live draft on Sunday was a lot of fun.
Where was it?
A place called Improper City in the Rhino District. And it's funny, when we pulled up into this neighborhood, Jen and I both looked at each other and were like, there are only two reasons you went into this neighborhood when we were kids. It was to buy drugs or to get shot. You simply didn't go. And now it's like this swanky, gentrified neighborhood.
Yeah, but you're still pulling up to your live draft and you're like, the only reason we're here is to get high or get shot.
Dude, that neighborhood is so expensive now. So, like, I don't think you could get a condo in that neighborhood for under $500,000. And they're like $2-3 million condos. And it's insane. The city is insane. But still, this place we went to is really cool. Really cool setup. Dave and Emily Kluge did a phenomenal job of running it and running the draft. It was great. It was great times, man. I had my boss at Fantasy Pros, Ryan Wormley, was in my division too, which was cool. Gary Zamarippa flew out to draft with us. Jordan Van Eck from 33rd team flew out here just for the draft. So it was a lot of fun. It can be intimidating, you know.
That sounds fun though. I mean,
but here is the thing.
I saw some pictures. I remember it was at a patio beer garden, right?
Yeah. So obviously Jen was in my division. I had the 4 pick, the 3 pick. She had the 4 pick. And it's just, look, this was Sharks. We had SFB 8 champ in our division.
Uh-oh.
Robbie from Rum Boys was in our division.
Who was was he the SFB 8 champ?
No. Stompy. Stomp Bear Pig on Twitter.
Okay.
He's awesome. He's just a big cuddly guy. He's amazing. Samantha Previtt.
Okay.
He's in our division. Stefan Lefko from, it's escaping me now. He's awesome. Had a blast with him. We've been talking since. So these live drafts, like, I just go to them. If you're doing a Scott Fishbowl, you should go to the live draft.
Or if you're not, I would definitely go to one that was
still go.
Yeah,
Joey Wright from Football Guys and FYF happened to be in town. He dropped by. I think we had about 35 or 40 people there. Only 24 of us were drafting. So,
cool.
Yeah. Jen, I think, has my favorite draft. She took Kelsey at 4.
Are you allowed to show? So we got.
I'm not going to show it.
We got into a little squibble before the episode because I wanted to see how the whole draft board went, because my draft's not until this Saturday and I'm very nervous and I just want to view as much information as possible beforehand. And Nate
I'm weird
said,
about it.
No, I won't show you my wife's draft. Of course I won't show you my wife's draft.
No.
Here we are looking at his team.
My team's fine.
Let's see your team.
I don't care. So here's what we've got. I got Jalen Hurts with the 103, then Derrick Henry at 210, which I was really happy about. And then it's just a weird situation because I've been out on Devontae Adams for the most part. But I took him at 310 because I thought in this format, I mean, first downs and stuff like that, he's still going to get those for the Raiders. So, I mean, that's additional points. I really liked getting Calvin Ridley in the 5th. I thought that was pretty much of a steal. So I was pretty happy. And then getting Jerry Jeudy, he's a guy that I've kind of planted my flag on this year a little bit. It's one of my guys, I guess. That's what they would call it.
I can understand that.
Dude, okay. For the same reasons that I'm saying, I think Russell Wilson could be a top 5 quarterback in the Peyton offense. For the same reasons, I think Jerry Jeudy could be a top 5 wide receiver. And he was from I think it was week 11 on last season. He was wide receiver. Maybe it was wide receiver 8, but he was wide receiver 8 in that span. Once Russ kind of started to click with him.
Right. We have recency bias, but somehow Jerry Jeudy eluded our recency bias.
Yeah.
And he did finish out very strong for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
I don't know. What do you think, man? I mean, getting Kittle in the 4th was a steal.
I think Kittle's a good I mean, you gotta have a big boy in this scoring format at tight end. I'm a little nervous about Calvin Ridley at 5'10". That is a flag plant, and that's something I don't really like to do. Sure,
then that's fair. But to be fair, I'm planting my flag on that, man.
There you go. That's all it is.
Yep.
So we're agreeing that's a flag plant, and that's just
Absolutely.
the only reason that it makes me nervous.
But I believe that's the thing is that I believe Calvin Ridley in this offense is going to be just phenomenal. I think he's going to be phenomenal.
Good.
I think he's the wide receiver one on the team.
Yeah, I can definitely see that right out of the gate, huh?
Christian Kirk's a close second, but the reasons that Ridley was off the field, if you read his thing in the Players Tribune, I get it, man.
You talking about his open letter?
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley's open letter was beautiful, and if anybody hasn't read that, go look up Calvin Ridley's open letter. It is.
It's fantastic.
You just got to do it. You got to do it.
And if you're questioning Calvin Ridley's ability to come back and play football, just read it.
If you're passionate about the game, go read somebody's open letter who's very passionate about the game, about something they're very exposed because of.
Well, and it was really eye-opening as to what the Falcons put him through.
That's interesting. Yeah,
it's insanity. So, it's a flag plant. The one that scares me the most right now is Michael Pittman. But in the 8th round, I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
he's not my wide receiver 1, 2, or 3, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
Antonio Gibson worries me.
Do you have a few more rounds that are done? Do you have a second QB?
Boom. Mac Jones, the 11-10.
Okay,
well, this is awkward.
So you have a third QB, but who's your second QB?
No. Dude, come on. You know me. You've got to know this about me by now.
I love your third QB of Mac Jones. I'm just a little bit worried about who you're going to put in your Superflex all season.
Stop it. But look, dude, what are you not seeing here that is absolutely gorgeous about those next 3 picks?
Zay Flowers at 12-3 is crazy. Sam Laporta in the scoring format at 14th round is crazy. Crazy. I thought that Zay Flowers would be going in the 8th, and I thought Sam Laporta would be going in the 12th.
Yeah,
that's where I expect to see them go. I'd be fine with either of them there, but holy crap, Zay Flowers in the 12th and Sam Laporta in the 14th is really fun.
Dude, when I saw Laporta there, I was like, I can't not. I have to do this.
So much of what we talk about, I really have to filter with who in my own division, in my own draft, might be listening to this. And I'm like, well, Sam Laporta in the 14th is great. And what I really mean is I'll take him in the 11th. I'm like, well, yeah, I'd take him in the 12th. I'd take him in the 12th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a really hard episode, Nate, because I got my mind on one thing and I have to lie about it for the next 30 minutes.
Well, we
can talk about your draft openly. Let's go.
Yeah. No, it's been a really good experience. I love the people in my league, so I know everybody. I was in a league with a lot of them last year. It's an interesting board so far. I mean, Aaron Rodgers going in the 4th round.
Oh, that's early, yeah.
Just 2 picks before Jared Goff went.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Stafford fell to the 8th round. He went 2 picks ahead of Bryce Young. They both went before Kyler Murray. Javonte Williams went after Kyler Murray, and then CJ Stroud went at 8-11, which Brock Purdy went in the 9th round. Quite honestly, I looked down, I was like, oh shit. They're
all over the place in that draft. They're all over the place in all these drafts.
So here's a fun one. So you know that site that tracks all the Scott Fishbowl stuff?
Is it spikeweek.com?
Yes.
Nate, you know what? Possibly our best business option is just to promote all these smarter people, right? Like you were talking to me earlier, you just like to be in a room with smarter people and hang out with smarter people. And maybe we should just talk about all these smarter people and they'll pay us for the time that we talk about it. So go ahead. Spike Week, right?
Yep. Spike Week's awesome. So it's just a fun tracking of kind of all of the things Scott Fishbowl, like who took a QB earlier, who took the latest QB. And Jen has the distinction. Let's see if she still has it. Here, let's go ahead and I'm just going to bring this up here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to share this real quick.
I'm DMing you right now another thing that I think that we could go on a tangent on that would be very, very helpful. This dude, Adiko, is awesome.
So we'll talk about your thing in a second.
Okay.
So this is just an interesting tracking, right? So it's showing all the different things like longest running back run, 8 in the Panera Bread division. Latest tight end, Jacob Niner, 1611. Like just interesting stuff. But then it gets even more interesting. If I can figure out how to do it, who drafted him. Whatever it is, Jen was the earliest Kyle Trask drafter at 13th round. For whatever that's worth.
No, I like it. I'm actually a little bit. Whereas I can see that. I don't know what strategy I'm going to go with still, and it's like 3 days away. I haven't.
Here's the thing I learned: throw strategy out the window. It doesn't matter in Scott Fish Bowl because people do weird things.
I completely agree with you. So
I mean, for context here,
go ahead. Yeah,
trying to find where Anthony Richardson went here. Anthony Richardson went at 3-2 in Scott Fish Bowl to my boss, Ryan Wormley.
That's fair.
I've seen him going as late as the 6th or 7th round in some drafts. He was a first pick in one draft. He was the first pick in a draft.
Stop it. I don't.
Yes, he was the
I don't believe you. Can you pull it up on Spike Week?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, you can.
Probably.
This is fun, man. So, Nate, I wanted to introduce a new segment, and
we haven't done it yet.
And I've been pushing, but what it essentially is going to be, this is a soft release.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misspoke. It was the 111.
Okay.
Felix Sharp took him at the 111 in his division. So
All right.
Yeah, you want to do some tool highlighting.
Yeah, I want to do tool highlighting. I want to teach a manager to fish. I want to be able to teach people how to be able to find all these stats that if you want to go down a rabbit hole of points per route run, this is the best way to do it.
Exactly.
If you want to go down a rabbit hole of who are the top 10 offensive lines over the last 3 years, you go do it through this site. And if we can help people figure out how to do better themselves, to be honest, I'd just be glomming on to the audience while I push Nate to tell me how to do what he knows how to do and he's so good at, which is fine with me.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will make this promise. When I get back from vacation, we will do it.
Where are you going? When?
I'm going to Mexico on Friday. We're going to Puerto Vallarta. We got an Airbnb, so I'm pretty stoked. And I'm taking the week off from shows. I still have other work to do. I still have some writing and stuff to do down there. It's fine. But yeah, we got a condo near the marina. We're on the 18th floor. This place has 5 pools and a restaurant. So
dope.
And it's like right in the middle of the like kind of hotel district. So there's there's an Outback Steakhouse like 3 blocks away.
I'm so mad at you for being excited about that.
I'm not. We're not going to eat there, dude. We live like 10 minutes from an Outback here.
Right.
We can have Outback anytime. Right. What we're more likely to do is there's a Walmart right across the street.
Oh, so, even better than Outback.
And a Sam's Club, and there's a Costco like a 5 to 6 minute drive from us. So no, we'll just go do grocery shopping, man.
Is there a Taco Bell?
We do every time. There is.
Ooh.
They have a fancy Taco Bell there, like one of the Cantina ones.
Like the one from Demolition Man?
Yeah. They have Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
And Domino's. And according to Corey Spala from DLF. According to Corey Spala from DLF, it's the best Domino's in the world.
Okay.
So we're probably going to order Domino's one night while we're in Puerto Vallarta.
I can't even mad at you.
But we're going to take a bus tour. Double-decker bus tour. We did it last year. We buy these micheladas on the boardwalk that are like, I'm not even kidding, dude. They're like huge.
What is a michelada? Is that a pre-made something?
So, no. So it's Clamato juice, hot sauce, Worcestershire, a shot of tequila, and whatever else you want to put in it. Stir it up, and you pour a Corona into it. And then you rim the glass with tamarind.
I don't want to get deplatformed or anything, but would that be called a bloody Mexican?
No.
Because it's a Bloody Mary, but with tequila instead of vodka?
It's just one little shot. It's like it's a splash of tequila with a beer in it.
Okay.
And maybe that's just the way I make them. That might be the case. I might be the one adding the tequila. But yeah, so we get those, and it literally takes you all through the whole bay almost. It's pretty cool.
That is
all along the coast. It's so mountainous that all the main roads are right on the coast. So I'm going to be so sunburned when I get back.
What's that?
I'm going to be so sunburned when I get back.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the best time of year to take a week off.
For this industry, it absolutely is. And the nice thing is this is kind of like the rainy season in Mexico. So it's not nearly as touristy.
Or expensive.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
but with subtropics, because I live in subtropics, what happens with subtropics during the rainy season is, at least in New Orleans, and I know in Southeast Asia, and it'll rain from like 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and just downpour and ruin everything. And then it'll be done. It'll be super sunny until like 1 and super sunny after 3.
Dude, it depends because it's a little bit, it's farther south than you guys. So like we're getting into like, you could drive to Central America kind of. And when those storms come in off that bay, dude, because it's a big like horseshoe bay. It's the second largest bay in the world.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. Third largest, I think. Third largest. But dude, these storms will come in and it's like just watching the lightning on the water. And then you'll watch the water disappear into cloud as the storm gets closer. And just like lightning and craziness. 2 years ago, we saw water spouts in the bay.
Are those like little mini tornadoes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they come up out of the water because in the swamp sometime in New Orleans.
Yeah, no, it's pretty intimidating when you're looking at it facing the Pacific Ocean, but you know.
Should we get back to football? I'm gonna take a minute to refresh my lungs. And, but I feel like should we get back to the show sheet or no?
Nah, dude. I think this has been a great show.
Okay.
Fair enough. I'm happy with the product.
Fair enough.
Yep. Jamie did want to say, "What's up, guys? What is up, Jamie? Thanks for tuning in. I mean, I hope we entertained you guys. Also, look at this. Brad's wife's ancestors originated from Prussia too. I'm kind of related to Brad.
Probably.
Day. It's a banner day. Just a banner day. Oh, well, I think with that, I'm going to say, please like and subscribe. We would love it. And guys, with the football season coming up, for real, we're going to get into August. It's going to start to get heated. We're going to branch out into redraft for the season. We want to be your one-stop shop for all the advice you need. We'll be here all season, brother.
Also,
are you coming on next week? You should take next week off.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Why would I ever take a week off?
Because I'm in Mexico. Take the week off.
Oh, do you want to take a week off? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can't do it for Mexico.
All right. Well, then I'll take a week off. You want to?
Okay, we're taking a week off.
Fair
all right.
Fair enough.
Well, guys, I guess we'll see you next week.